Welcome to the BSBLR Show, guys. I'm your host, DR. Today's guest, guys, brings speed, grit, championship DNA straight out of Cape May, New Jersey. One of the best athletes and artists you'll ever see. A former World Series or a World Series champion, not former, you're a World Series champ.
Oh, yeah.
Former two-sport standout, chose the diamond, and a guy known for not only his playing days, but his heroics off the field as well. From patrolling the outfield with the Cubs to literally saving lives. Yeah, this dude's different. So turn it up. Welcome to the mic, Matt Szczur. How are we doing today, man?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me. I'm stoked to be here. This is my second time around, so it's exciting.
Hopefully not the last.
No,
we need some more Szczur. We need more C's. We got to seize that opportunity. But man, talk to me a little bit. How's life been? What's been up?
Dude, life's been great, man. 2 kids, 6 and 2. Well, my daughter will be 2 on 4/20, so I'm really excited about those future birthdays. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And yeah, my his birthday is January 1st, so he'll be getting tanked at 20 years old, and over midnight.
That's great
But
setup.
yeah, dude, I got just been balls deep in a couple companies and art, man. Like we talked about earlier, it's art is like the steam engine, and I love doing it. It's a way away from like the hecticness and craziness of life and baseball. So it was it's super fun to do.
Love it. And 6 years old with your boy, man. We're getting close to some ball.
I know, dude. It's almost scary. Like, and you just had a boy.
Yep, boy, Jet.
And dude, the thing that is the hardest for me is like that nobody warns you about is how hard it is watching your kids grow up, right? Because it's like you can't wait for them to grow up because the time you're in is really tough.
Yeah.
But then you see him grow up and it like breaks your heart because you're like, man, he's exposed to school now. He's got other influences in his life, and yeah, dude, it's really hard. Like he's losing his teeth. It's
crazy.
Yeah.
No, I'm still there. I'm 7 months in, man. So I got a lot of stuff yet, but no, it's coming. It's coming, man. We're going to start with the BSBLR Blitz. So how it works, Matt, very simple. Home run if you love it, strikeout if you don't.
Okay.
Big bat flips after home runs, home run or strikeout.
I was never a bat flip guy, but I wish I was. Home run.
Love it. Wearing your World Series ring in public.
Dude, so I had a dinner with Men's Health last night, and I wore it because it was like, why not? I bring it out when the occasion calls for it.
Home run. I think if when you're going to Walmart, maybe not so much. Like, yeah, dude, big fancy dinner, man.
Yeah,
show that thing off.
Hell yeah.
I'm all about it. The ABS challenge system, home run or strikeout?
Home run. I think it's really big for the game. And when you have guys throwing 100 miles per hour, like, and you're trying to hit it, I mean, you're a hitter. It's you need some consistency. You can't be, home run. I'm on it.
Let's go a step further. Robo umps, home run or strikeout?
Home run. I'm with it because, like I said, man, and then like you always see the most important parts of the game, 7th, 8th, 9th inning, and it's freaking ball or strike, and you're like, dude, I can see it on TV. That was a ball. Like, come on, man. And it's like, these guys are getting paid so much money. I think having robo umps, having the umpire behind the plate to relay the message, and it gives the hitter nothing to bitch about because it's right there. Like, it's a strike, man. Sorry.
You're complaining with technology.
Yeah.
No, and I think it gets interesting. My conversation for it, I think about it in a development side of things with the catcher. And that's my biggest hit against it would be like how framing has been done for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Like obviously the framing skill. I was looking at like Patrick Bailey. Guys like Patrick Bailey's probably wouldn't have jobs because their frame ability is no longer an asset.
Think of Austin Hedges, man. I play with Austin Hedges, and he's one of the best catchers I've ever played with. Defensively, like receiving, throwing, like even pop-ups and like catching pop-ups. Like the dude made some insane catches, but he just hasn't been a great hitter. Like he was a great hitter in the minor leagues, but he stayed in the big leagues because he's a fucking amazing catcher. So
exactly.
You're right.
No, so that's where it gets interesting. And that's where I like to have a conversation with that stuff because it can get, because like, yes, we want the calls right. We want them right.
Yeah.
No one likes seeing the foot and a half outside CB Buckner.
Yeah.
You know, like no one likes that. No one likes that. No one likes
CB, man. Oh,
But hey, man, jumping right into it, dude. I've been diving deep on your life, and you got one of the craziest lives ever. I'm just gonna start here. You got engaged in sick fashion. Tell us how you pulled it off.
oh, dude. So that's how did you find that
Dude,
out?
digging,
That's a
digging,
deep dive.
digging.
So yeah, obviously it was with Chicago, and my wife and I, we always love Broadway shows. So I wanted to do something different and something that was, you know, something that we'd always remember, right? I like worked through my agent. We went and saw a Broadway show in Chicago, got on the stage, and I proposed on the stage of a Broadway show. So it was pretty cool.
Man, put everyone else to shame. I mean, you pulled it off, and you said in the
Dude.
interview, you're like, it was a Chicago play.
Yeah.
Like, I play for the Cubs. Like,
Yeah,
you gotta make this work.
yeah. I try and like, make things clever and unique. The funny part is, so we did a helicopter ride over New York City before, and it was like, it wasn't out of the ordinary, but like my wife and I, we did fun things. Like we did things all the time. So, and I was just about to leave for spring training, so it made sense for us to do like something fun.
Totally.
The guy who's like ushering us to the helicopter is like, "Bro, you gonna propose? Are you proposing tonight?" And I'm like, "Dude, are you fucking kidding me? Like, one, how do you assume this, and how are you guessing? And two, dude, shut your mouth. Like, don't even put things in your
Even if
head."
you're right, why
He's
are you
like,
talking?
yeah, he's like yelling at me. I'm like, "Bro, are you kidding me?" Like, so yeah, I remember that, and then we went to Wolfgang Puck for dinner. It was like a little outside the restaurant. I remember kind of like shaking because yeah, I had like a nice suit on and like the things in my pocket, and it's an expensive ring, so my hand is like glued to my pocket the
Of
whole dinner.
course.
Like there's no way this thing's falling out because I'm in some shit if it does.
Unreal, man.
Yeah.
Unreal. Dude, I can't I think I'm thinking this Friday I might take the wife out for a little helicopter ride around Dubuque, Iowa. We'll see. I just might spice it up a little bit, get a little crazy. But dude, when you retired, you said you're trading in your bat for a brush, but you totally lied. You're still swinging that thing,
I
and
know.
instead now you're making art with it.
Yeah, yeah, dude. So like, one my partner in regimen, this is men's personal care, soap, deodorant, toothpaste, lotion. One of the things that he's always said to me is like, dude, you're the purple cow. And the purple cow, the story of the purple cow is this. I don't know who wrote it. I have the book, but if you haven't read it, read it. Essentially, it's like, you're driving past a farm, and there, like, I'm sure you're in Iowa, so all these farms with all these, cows, and you can
You're
drive for days.
you're
Yeah.
profiling me right now, bro.
So it's like, but think about it. You're driving, and you see probably cows every other day, every week, whatever. If you saw a purple cow, would you stop?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So like, and I kind of did this without even thinking, and kudos to Coach Rusty. I kind of saw him do it in golf. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He like hits paint with a golf club. But before that, I'm not sure who it was. This was probably in like 2014, and a company had like, yeah, I think it may have been Schwarber. I remember Jock doing it, and I'm not sure completely what it was, but they were in like white hazmat suits, and they were just smashing paint all over the thing. And I remember thinking back then, I'm like, man, that's a really cool concept, because what was in the background was like a stencil of LA or a stencil of Chicago, and they were just smacking paint on it, which I thought was cool. Didn't think anything of it back then, and then I saw Coach Rusty. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking do that too. And like, how do I be different than an artist? Like, create these stencils that are realistic but unique. And how do I incorporate baseball into it? And here we go, like Jackson Pollock of baseball, and it's just literally the same thing. The purple cow, like, this guy was a baseball player, now he paints and he hits paint on the canvas. So it's got me a lot of the publicity. Had the MLB Network commercial. Just had it's still an auction now. I think it's up to 10 grand for Golden Auctions, King of Collectibles. And then there's, just working with Fanatics, working with Tops, like just kind of putting myself out there and being vulnerable, like a vulnerable athlete, like not caring about judgment and like what people think about me painting. Um, yeah, takes you a long way.
Nah, I mean, it's just so interesting because I mean, that's just not the typical, hey, I'm retiring. I'm going to go play some golf. You're like, nah,
Yeah.
man, I'm
Yeah.
swinging my bat at some paint and shit. And
Yeah.
like, that's dude. And these are incredible. I mean, you kind of brushed over it, but you were on the opening week commercial with the painting of Shohei Ohtani. Like, this
Yeah.
isn't like just like some side hobby. Like, you're fucking good at this.
Well, it's the tough part is I like nice things. So in order to get nice things, you need to make money. So,
That's how it
so
be.
that's, and I love doing it, man. It's so much fun. It's therapeutic. It's not work. I get to deal with a lot of like high network people, athletes, celebrities. Did Darren Dalton for Miles Teller.
Mm.
So it's really good to kind of like be involved in baseball, but not have to fucking grind from 11 a.m. to midnight and like go on road trips, like
Yeah. Yeah. You cut out all that stuff.
yeah.
Dude, when I think of the greatest athletes of all time, here's my list. It goes Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, Matt Caesar. Dude, hear this, guys. This is insane. In 2009, for football, first team All-American, MVP of the FCS National Championship game, only player in Division One to register a touchdown as a receiver, rusher, passer, and kick returner. Then you said, you know what? Let's play some ball. Let's play some baseball. Then you go and bat 443. You're third team All-America. That's a snub. That's a snub.
I
And
know.
only
It's 'cause I went
9
to
Ks.
Villanova. Yeah.
9 Ks and 200 plate appearances. Like, do
Yeah.
you feel legitimately 10 feet tall walking around campus?
Dude, you know what? I don't, because I'm like constantly trying to get better, and my wife hates this because I'm like, dude, I fucking crushed it from year 0 to 30 years old, and I don't want that to be the best of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, I don't know if you see, like, I'm doing high rocks competitions, like I'm constantly trying to get better because I don't want to get worse.
Yeah. Dude, you got that competitive bone in your
Oh,
body.
dude,
Not a
I
bad
know.
one. Not a
Yeah,
bad one, dude. But
and
talk about that year a little bit though, dude. What was that like as an athlete running through that and just like you go from being the guy on the football field to the guy on the baseball field? Like, what's that like?
well, that year is when I donated bone marrow too. So that was like, it really can't get better than that year. And it was like the E60 came out. So, um, yeah, I mean, dude, that was I had fun in college. It was awesome. Like, had good grades and I had a great roommate. Um, we just pushed each other, and it was like having a brother. Like, I don't know if you have a brother, but I feel like I credit my brother to the reason why I'm so good, or I was so good, was because he was there pushing me. And I see it with my own kids. Like, I see my son who's 6 and my daughter who's 2, and my daughter who's 2 is like strides ahead of where my son was when he's 2 because she's trying to keep up with him. And it's like not even on purpose. It just happens, right? Like the younger person always just tries to keep up with the older one.
Really?
Um, so that year was a lot of fun, man. Like I tried. What I don't tell many people is after my freshman year of football, I had a sports hernia. I went to baseball, and I didn't play baseball that year because I was recovering from my sports hernia. But I just saw like the baseball guys, and it wasn't like my tribe, and maybe it wasn't my tribe because I wasn't playing and I was just kind of like sitting
Totally.
there. So I remember going to my Coach Talley, and I'm like, hey man, I'm not fucking playing. Like I'm quitting. I'm quitting. Not playing baseball. I trust myself in football. Like I'll make it in football. And shit you not, like Coach Andy Talley, like I give him a lot of credit too. He's like, Matt, you can't do this, because I was drafted out of high school. Like I drafted in the 38th round from the Dodgers. So he's like, you need, and we started off, it was the first year of the sandbox opening, the new sandbox opening at LSU. Villanova was going down to open the sandbox up. They had like DJ LeMahieu, Casey Coleman was a pitcher. There was or no, Luis Coleman was a pitcher. He was like he like slung it side. He was a starting guy throwing 99. I'm like, it's Coach Talley's like, just go down there and see if you like it. And I shit you not, bro. Like I didn't fucking play baseball for like 2.5 years, and I batted third in the lineup that day and fucking punched out 3 times. I'm like, dude, welcome back to baseball, man. So, luckily I had a pretty good year that year, and found my love back for it and continued playing. But yeah, that junior season, national champion, donating the bone marrow, saving the little girl, and then having a good year and getting drafted in the 5th round was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd say that's okay. I'd say that's okay. Let's talk about that, because I don't want to brush over that at all, man. So you're about to be drafted as a top round draft pick in the major leagues, and you stepped away in the middle of a season to save a girl's life.
Yeah, I mean, and I didn't really, think anything of it. And partially, I feel like the reason was too because I knew I had an opportunity to play football. And when you're in college, man, or when you're playing something and you're working out, dude, you just feel invincible. Like, you literally feel invincible. And I remember telling my coach, I'm like, dude, I'll be fine coming back. Like, I don't care. I'll figure it out, because I really believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that there's literally, you're not taking me down. I'll do this for 4 weeks and come back and be fine. And dude, I came back. We played West Virginia. I think I was like 8 for 12. My first at bat back, I hit a home run, and it was like, I remember my buddy, who's one of my best friends, and he was my wedding, Marlon Calby. I'm like, crossing home plate. He's like, dude, he's like, you're just fucking unbelievable. He's like, this is unbelievable right now. I was like, I was just playing some ball, man.
Just show up and just hit a tank. You're like, oh yeah, that's getting some of those cobwebs
I
off.
thought it was good karma, because I donated, and I was like, I didn't really put any judgment. It was like, oh, your ability. I was like, yeah, that's probably God sending a sign down saying thank you for taking some time off.
Yeah, there you go. Another nuke for you. So, dude, when you look up your baseball reference page, does it piss you off that you're in a St. Louis Cardinals hat?
Dude, you know what? I don't really look it up, but it's so funny because I do like TikTok stuff, and I will hit tee poppers. And partially the reason why I do it is because, if anybody ever asks me to come out and play for Team Poland or something, right? Like I got invited to play for Team Poland, but I'm just not, I don't have like an ancestor. Dude, I would have went out in Team Poland and I would have fucking crushed it, because I like my swing is maybe more dialed now than it was when I played.
More dialed in. You're constantly tee popper hitting paint. Like, dude, you haven't even missed a beat. Haven't missed a beat. Oh my gosh. No, that'd be insane. And I gotta ask, man, what's the worst someone's butchered your name?
Dude, I fucking hate it. It literally happens all the time. Like,
what's
all
the
the
worst
time.
one?
And the thing that pisses me off too is like, hold on, let me see if I have something right now.
You're good.
I'm gonna write this down, and you're gonna pronounce it. All right.
Okay. I'll try my best, dude. Put me on the spot. Okay. Try to pronounce it. Got it. Hit me. Like, okay, like actual season. Yeah. Like how I would say.
Now, why can't people pronounce my last name? Is it because they're conditioned, because they've seen that so much?
True.
And they see my last name and the C fucks them up?
I don't know. What are they? Sukzer?
I think the C must mess them up. It's like
yeah.
Zizzer, yeah, whatever. And I guess I just got to be more famous so people figure out my name. Just
great goal.
Yeah,
great goal. Just be more famous, so it's not a problem. Sweet. I'll touch base on you with that. We'll see how that goal this year. Be more famous.
Yeah, be more famous.
Awesome, dude. I was looking back. Your first career hit. Do you remember it?
Yeah, and I was I think I was 1 for 3 off Bumgarner, and all 3 at bats he threw the same pitch, and he's probably my first 2 at bats I rolled over to third baseman. He was throwing cutters in. And he's probably like, this fucking jabroni is going to swing again. And dude, I love swinging first pitch. Like that's my thing. Because most of the time it's the best pitch you're going to get. So if you're prepared to hit it and you're not up there half-assing it, one of the things I feel like I learned as a hitter early on was fucking always be ready to hit. Always be ready to hit. And I hated 5th, 6th inning. I hated fucking taking pitches to get to the bullpen. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna fucking go bang first pitch, man. I want to bang.
Good hitters hits. They don't. take the fastball cookie down the middle.
Yep. So he threw me another cutter in, and I hit it right in the 6 hole. So, yeah.
Do you remember what happened with the game ball? I don't know if you
Yeah,
saw
I
it.
mean that was like a thing Jeff Baker did all the time. I don't even know if I had it. I knew he was gonna do it. Like that was like
that was common.
the
Yeah.
easy flip. So yeah.
Dude, the first time I saw it, I was like, "What the?" Like he just
Yeah.
gave that away.
Yeah.
So you didn't even phase you. You saw it.
Nah,
Like,
it didn't phase me.
It was like
Nah.
that guy's full of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was just like his. I mean, great dude. You know, he was so much fun to play with. But he was like the comic relief guy,
Yeah.
which was great because you know
You need that.
he didn't. Yeah, you need it for sure, especially as like a backup catcher, because he was a positive like enforcement in the dugout, like you know helping guys.
No, 100%. Dude, you had probably the unhappiest walk-off hit I've ever seen. What was that like?
Dude, here's like the shitty part about that hit. Well, the good part about it, but the shitty part about it. Literally 2 innings before, I had the fucking same situation, and I popped up to the right fielder, and I'm like, this motherfucker, man. So I'm like,
Yo,
all
that's
right.
what I was saying in my living room too. I'll tell you.
Wait, were you watching it?
Oh hell yeah, yeah.
Oh my god,
I was like this motherfucker.
yeah, and I'm like, god damn it. And you know what? Like, I was going through like a hitting adjustment at the time, and like for some reason I was just always late, always late, always late. So I remember going up to that plate appearance, and I'm like, all right, just fucking yank this bitch foul. And I got jammed. I'm like, are you kidding me? So jammed the right field, and I'm like running the first base, and I'm like, damn it, I just did this again. It was literally the second time, and sure enough, he got sniped.
Dude, you can like see like the skid marks in the grass
Crazy,
from when he
dude.
just slid like 7 feet, threw up just like a lucky hand trying to like catch it.
Dude, the crazy part is it wasn't even like didn't even rain, I don't think.
No, I don't know what happened. His feet got a little wobbly and looked a little too easy to him. But dude, just seeing you at first base, like after the walk-off, just like, so talk to me, dog. What's the coolest part about playing at Wrigley?
Oh, dude, I lived I lived on Halstead, so it was like a walk, literally less than a mile walk to the ballpark. And I think the fun part about it is, you know, you have the Fenway type neighborhood vibes, right? I don't know if you've ever been to Fenway, but you know, it just feels like you're part of a bigger family, right? Like, and that's how Cubs games are, man. Even when they lost, they still packed out the stadium, right? Like people were still watching the Cubs. They were the lovable losers for how many years, you know, before we won. So yeah, I mean, it was amazing going to work there every day. I used to talk to Brandon Hyde because um, Brandon Hyde would work out before pretty much every game. Like he was just a workhorse, and you know, he would be running in the outfield just doing polls, and almost every day he'd be like, "Man, I can't believe I get to work here." And it's so true. Like, you know, you work your whole life to do that, you know, and it was just really cool, man.
So what would you pick? Would you pick a day game at 120 or a night game?
Dude, I love day games because I was an early riser. So I loved getting shit over with and then having the night to go and eat dinner with my wife, right? Like that, we would go, dude, our go-to spot was like Summer House or RPM Italian. Like we just fucking love those places.
So yeah, what was the energy like on a Friday day game as a player? Because I mean, as a fan watching that shit, like it's the best. You know, early day Friday with Saturday, whatever it may be, you go down to the ballpark, get to watch a game. What's that like energy
Yeah,
wise?
I would say summer is definitely different than like the springish because you know more people are trying to take off work. But what's funny is like at the reunion, Rossi and I were talking about the time that, and I think we brought it up in the last time I was on the show, when he threw the gum at the guy and the guy put it in his mouth and it was like the most epic thing ever. And we probably laughed for just like 5 minutes after, like just reminiscing on those times because it was just it's just incredible.
So what was it again? So the fan was like,
So
I
so
want
we
something.
we just got done a win, and Go Cubs goes on. We're slapping fives. Rossi was played once, twice a week, and I was kind of the same boat, but it was always like finishing games. and I just so happened to like be on the bench at this time, and high fives, place was going nuts. It was a day game. We're walking back in. He's like, "Yo, C's, watch this." The guy's like asking for, "Hey, can I get a ball? Can I get a ball?" And Rossi like spits out his gum, and he's like, "Yeah, you want this? You want this?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, yeah." So Rossi just tossed the gum up, caught it, put it in his mouth, started chewing. It was the most epic thing I've ever seen. He's like, you got to feed the animals, Matt. You got to feed the animals.
Gotta feed the animals.
Dude, it was literally the funniest thing ever, man. It's and we always just say we were like zoo animals, right?
Yeah.
Like you're essentially in a cage on the field, and you have all these people like knocking, yelling at you, So
You're
that's
the
why.
gladiators, dude. You guys
Yeah,
are like the gladiators. And I always find it interesting because, like, especially if I'm like hanging out with a friend who's a ball player, right? And when they're in that, like you guys are the gladiator, you're
yeah,
the entertainment. But like, dude, you guys throw on like your after game stuff, walk out of stadium, and you're just amongst the folk.
yeah,
And like a lot of times you just can kind of just move around that way. And it's
yeah.
just so interesting to see.
It was so cool because we won the World Series and we came back, and I think it may have been the night before the parade, and Wrigley was still fucking bumping. Like everybody's on the streets.
I can
Like
imagine.
one of the coolest things, they were like writing like their names with chalk like all over the stadium, which they weren't. It wasn't like graffiti. They were just
Mhm.
like World Series, Sarah or Mike,
Yeah,
whatever. They were,
messages.
yeah,
Yeah.
it
Just,
just met,
just
and it was gonna wash off. It was just chalk, and I had my hood up and my beanie over my face. Like nobody could tell it was me. And my wife and I, we just walked around the stadium and took it all in, and it was the coolest thing ever.
God, man.
I can't hear you.
You were a Cub during the 2014 and 2016 seasons. Was there ever like a moment that you felt it like, ooh, this team is something special?
Yeah, I feel like you could tell in 2014 that the shift was happening a little bit. And then like the biggest signing, and I always like preach this, the defense wins championships. The biggest signing that we had in 2015 was John Lester, right? You get John Lester, David Ross comes over, your instant leadership, instant an add-on to defense. Like right away, you get your starter, you get your ace. And there was a shift, dude. He came over and it was like, hey, we're fucking here to win. And I think you saw that with like how much he got paid. Like he was paid to be an ace, and he was the ace. And then Jake friggin' hit his stride, like just completely dominated 2015. So it's like now we got two guys that are fucking huge, and now Kyle Hendricks is like starting to dominate low key too. Like throwing up a low ERA and going 6 innings, 7 innings. So it's like you start to see the shift happen, and it was really cool to see.
I mean, I didn't even think about this, but what did it feel like as an outfielder when Jake Arrieta is pitching in 2015?
Dude,
You're like, what the
it,
fuck am I even doing out here?
it was nuts. I remember like because like I said, I was third, fourth. I was fourth, fifth outfielder. So I watched Jake pitch a lot, and it was like you're going into the game and you're knowing that he's going 9 innings and putting up like a two-hitter, and it was just expected, right? Like it was expected. I was part of both his no-hitters, and it was expected, right? Like because he was just so freaking good, man. It was like insane to play behind him. He actually had a no-hitter going into like the eighth inning. I forget who we were playing, and I was playing center field, and there was a ball that was hit to left center, and at Wrigley, dude, like if you're running in that wall, it's all brick, and I like laid out and dove for it, and like brushed up against the wall, and I missed it. But like if I was left-handed and I was able, because I was running like this, so
Yeah.
I had to short arm it because I'm obviously right-handed. So if I was left-handed, I think I would have been able to reach it. And I remember like the press people coming in, they were like, "Why did you die for that?" And I was like, "Well, I had an opportunity to save his no hitter, and he hasn't had a no hitter yet. So why wouldn't I die for that?" They were like, "Well, you could have ran into the wall," and I was like, "Well, I was thinking about the no hitter, like." And you know what? Everybody in my situation would have done the same thing. Like Albert Amore would have dove for it. Hayward would have dove for it. Soler, all those guys. Like, it's not just it's bigger than that.
100%, man. 100%. He was something special that year. I mean, that second half, he had like a .6 ERA, I want to say, in the second half.
Bro,
So
he was throwing 95-mile-per-hour cutters. Like, what? Dude. And then
and
pumping
he was
like
like cross
97.
body too.
Dude.
Like he was throwing like all the way over here, cross body.
Dude,
I
and
mean, how did people hit him? It's
the
just unreal.
great thing about Jake too is he was like the same person all the time. Like never was up, never was down, like super positive, but he was a leader, led by example. Like that he was getting his work in. Like every day, like I can envision him and his like he was like one of the first ones to wear like short shorts, and he would wear like almost like a surfer tank top kind of deal.
Yeah.
And it was like, dude, he fucking dominated because he put in the work every single day, bro. Every day.
Man. And then you talk Kyle Hendricks too. Like, yeah, you said low key. Like when people think about that team, you don't think of Kyle Hendricks, but man, you should. Because that guy, ERA leader in 2016, like that guy was it wasn't the sexiest way. He wasn't like, but like, dude, he just got people to miss barrels, and he was one of the best starters in baseball.
Dude, what did they call him? The professor, right? Because he just outsmarted people, and like he's like your modern day Greg Maddux. But I think at one point Kyle was like 91 to 94. At one point. Yeah.
94 might be pushing. But like let's stop at 91 and we'll call it a day, Matt. Stop at 91. Bro, 94.
I think when he came over from Texas, he was
okay. We'll go with that. I think we'll go with that.
Dude,
Sorry.
I love playing behind him, man. He was so much fun to watch. And like at center field, you see him carve people up, and like you play behind somebody for long enough, you can anticipate what they're going to throw. Like even if it's like a high fisted changeup, like that they're going to get fisted, and they're going to like hit a little dribbler to third base, and they're going to get out. Like you know
it. You can feel it coming.
Yeah.
And it feels like everyone knows it's coming, even if it's a 77 mile an hour changeup. Like you just know what he's gonna do. Everything was the same constantly. He was just such a fun player to watch, dude. But when we talk about the key parts of the 2016 Cubs World Series, dude, I think one thing to say is how important you were, but not even just you, your bat. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I mean, I still have it. I have it under my bed in case any intruders come in. Yeah, dude. So like another crazy story. The day Riz started using my bat, like he would use it throughout the season. If it was if he'd get in a slump or if he started getting jammed, he would just kind of go back to the smaller bat so that he would feel more handsy with it. Lighter bat, it was 33 and a half, 30 and a half. I used like a little tiny bat, a little toothpick. But yeah, so he was like 0 for world going into the NLCS, I think. And he's like, fuck it, C's, I'm using your bat. And dude, he just went off. And I think the cool thing about that too was that was the airing of the second E60 that same day. So it was like a brush up on my bone marrow donation. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, man, that's too good to be true, right? Like
crazy.
So it's I believe in the higher power, and coincidences, like I don't know if that's a coincidence.
Doesn't feel like it, man.
Yeah.
And something was running through that bat, dude. Because he went off, and it became a huge story. Because I remember seeing pictures where they would zoom in, and it was Rizzo doing his fucking violin thing, and then you'd look up, and it's like Matt Szczur.
Dude, I got offered 180 grand for that bat after the World Series, and now I could probably sell it for like a nickel. I should have sold it back then.
Wait a couple years, Matt. Keep holding on to your investments, man. So let's talk Game 7, dude. When Rajah Davis hit that home run,
oh, dude,
what was the feeling,
dude? It's and like I'm not just saying this because we won, but it obviously took the wind out of your sails. But we just had the feeling, and I know it was probably the same throughout the clubhouse. It was like, fuck, all right, we got to keep banging. Like we can't quit here. We got to keep going. And I think Chapman was like back-to-back days, or
Oh yeah.
we were up 7-1, he ended up pitching 2 innings, and it was like, we were just riding a horse, and because obviously it's Chapman, you got to roll with Chapman throwing 100, even if it's right down the middle, it's still fucking hard to hit.
Hit it.
So I mean, went out of our sails, but it was dude, we were down 3-1, so
Yeah. No, and kind of going off of that, man. I mean, obviously you had that feeling, but there was the infamous rain delay. What happened during that rain delay?
Yeah, I mean, everybody always asks about like the Hayward speech and how that went, and really it was just like, hey, we got to go out there and fucking ball out and win. Like let's do this. Like let everything in the past be in the past, and let's fucking step it up and get this W. So, and like, dude, it was awesome because when Jay Hay talks, you listen because he doesn't talk that much. So it was almost like putting the wind back in the sails when Jay Hayes was speaking. I feel like he had a really tough year that year. I don't know if it was the first year of his contract. I think it was, right?
I think 15. I think he came in
15
with Lester. I think. I'm
gotcha.
almost positive, but
yeah.
Regardless.
So, he had a tough season, and he wasn't starting in the World Series. Like there was some shit going on, and so I feel like hearing from him and him being positive and him being like, let's fucking go. It just hyped everybody up and made us want to win even more,
Yeah, and when I think about that, it goes hand in hand with that Schwarber at bat. He gets it through past the second baseman, and you just see the fist.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, that was like, okay.
Do you remember it pretty candidly?
Do I remember? I got chills right now talking.
Oh my god! So have you watched it more than once?
This is just nerding right here, dude. I got a DVD set of the.
That's awesome.
Like you got it. Oh, dude, I usually hide back my I'm a big fucking Cubs fan thing on this.
Yeah, that's great. You got to check this out. I got this at the reunion. I'll show it to you. Hold on.
Hit me.
What they did for us at the reunion. This was in our lockers. So what they did for us at the reunion is we went in the clubhouse. It was a VIP, it was just the players and front office and spouses and everybody who was a part of that team, no external or anything. And they had our jerseys set up exactly where they were, dude. It was fucking so sick. So these were in our lockers as well. And then so it's Maker's Mark, I believe.
Oh man, that is so sweet.
So it's like a highlight of the whole World Series. It's so epic, dude.
Oh,
I'll let you watch it. When we're not on the podcast, but it's so cool, the sickest thing ever. So every time you open it up, you can charge it. It's so simple. It was really cool.
My God, man, that's insane. Yeah. Dude, how tight was your asshole in the bottom of the 10th when Mike Montgomery came in the game?
I think we were up 2, right? So it wasn't that
up
tight.
1 when Mike Montgomery came in because Carl Edwards Jr. came in, gave up. I think Rajay had an RBI single, so it was RBI single.
Oh, okay.
Rajay was at first. Up 1 is when runner on first, up 1. Mike Montgomery comes in, hadn't pitched in the entire postseason, I believe. I could be wrong, but he was like that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Mike was a low key dog. I feel like, and he's he's got a lot of. I think he might have been a first rounder with the Mariners or something. But he his confidence was through the roof. So you knew that you were going to get his best, and he wasn't going to he wasn't going to shy away from any hitters. So, yeah, I mean, up 1, your butthole is really not that tight because you still got a chance to win.
For lack of better words.
Yeah.
Sweet, dude. The 2016 Cubs parade. So obviously you win the World Series. Let's just talk first. What was that initial? You win the World Series. What is the emotion going through it, and can you even explain it?
Yeah, I mean, dude, I had a lot of emotions because I was super excited to win, but I also I didn't play. So I was not upset at myself, but like I wanted to play. I was completely like, yeah, fuck yeah, we won. Like if we're here, we're winning. But I wanted to play too, you know. So my emotions were like going crazy. Just because it's like, you know, you're rooting for everybody. Like one of the best things about the Cubs is like everybody was family. So there's no person that you're not rooting for. I just wanted to contribute more.
Totally.
You know, like I had a really good season and I was like heartbroken when I was left off the roster. So, you know, it was like, all right, here we go. Like, what's the best thing that I can control and that I can do to help this team win? Because we're here and I fucking want to win a World Series. And it's like you blood, sweat, and tears with these guys all year long, and there's nothing more that you want than to fucking win. So, you know, like I said, I was ecstatic. I wanted to be on the roster, but that didn't like hurt me from not celebrating. You know what I mean? Like I had such a good time celebrating with the dudes because I knew that I put in the work and I just, you know, was left off the roster. It is what it is.
No, it's obviously conflicting emotions, man. Because
Yeah.
you wanna be out there. You've been a part of that squad, an important part of that squad the whole
Yeah.
year. So you can totally understand that. What was
Yeah.
that? What was that parade like? I want to say, first of all, the 2016 Chicago Cubs parade is the largest gathering in United States
Hell
history.
yeah. What was it like? I'm gonna pop
Think-
one of these pouches while we're on here.
Hit it,
All right.
hit it.
Yeah, I think what was it like 3 million or 5 million?
I think it was 5.2 million in a 2.5 mile radius. I was a person there. I want to say that I was there, and
That's epic.
dude, seeing the color blue
Where
at the
were
end of
you?
the
Where were you at? Were you in the field at
we
all?
went to Grant Park. So we went to Grant Park where you guys had the actual like ceremony
Of
of
course.
talking
Oh,
and everything.
that's sick.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, you were just like this for
Yeah.
miles, bro. Dude, I almost thought I lost my buddy. I was like, Joey, where are you? And he was 4 feet to my right. It was an
Dude,
insane experience.
what's crazy is that that's still the biggest.
Yeah, the largest in United States history, seventh in world history. Just shows you like how much people gave a fuck.
And bro, I like have videos of like us driving and like, you know, I had my family take videos and there's like a sea of people. You can like see, you know, there's like no street. You can't see the street. It's just people everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. It was insane.
Yeah, again, largest gathering in U.S. history, bro. That is one
Yeah.
of the wildest things. What was it like trolleying around and seeing that and being a part of that?
I mean, I really do remember like it was yesterday because it's something that you just remember. Um and it was almost like unreal, like to see so many people supporting the Cubs, right? Like it's you hear it all the time, like the lovable losers, 108 years, the curse of the Billy Goat, and like these fans, awesome fucking fans, like it snapped the streak, right? It snapped the curse. So they were out to support. It was freaking awesome.
Man, yeah. I mean, what was some of the what were some things that you saw? Like what was the craziest thing that you saw during the parade?
I mean, it's
Yeah.
probably similar to like what everybody sees, like you know, the person climbing up the telephone pole, like you know, it's just shit that you know you see online that you don't believe, and then you're there and you believe it, and you're like, "Fuck, these people are nuts, man. These people are nuts." Like I feel like I was kind of a reckless kid, and I would have never climbed a fucking telephone pole. Like, dude, I ain't trying to fall. Like, last thing I want to do is fall.
Dude, that's up there.
I know,
That's not
I
and
know.
people are just hanging from them.
Nuts, dude. And like and you even see it like with the when the Eagles won, right?
Yeah,
Like and dude, when I was in college, when did the Phillies win? Is it 2008, was it?
I think so. It's 8 or 9.
2008. Dude, Villanova was a fucking shit show when they won too. And like people that's what I'm saying. People were climbing all over everything, so stoked, so happy, and I'm like, yeah, I'm happy, but you're not gonna catch me doing that. Nuts,
So
dude.
talk to me about the 10-year reunion. Obviously, we saw that. What was the topic of conversation? What do you think was the most talked about or like remembered thing amongst you guys?
Dude, I don't you know, I don't think we really reminisced about like previous times. I feel like it was like, what do you got? What's everybody doing? Like, how's everybody's
Yeah.
families? Like, we talked about, they're like, I remember talking to Rossi about that story, and there was another fun story we talked about. Rizzo and him have a podcast, and it was like what they're doing is they're talking to everybody that was part of the team and getting their perspective. Like, hey, like, for me, for instance, like, hey, you had a really good year, but you were left off the roster. Like, how'd it make you feel? And exactly what I said, like, control what I can control. Like, I had a pretty decent year coming off the bench, and I wanted everybody to win, so I was going to root the team on because I wanted to win too. And one of the stories that Rossi and I had, because they was like, hey, similar to the question you asked, we were in Colorado. And we were driving to Elway's for dinner, and it was like me, Rossi, Lester. I think Eric Kinsky was there, and I don't know if Rizzo was there or not. But there was like a lady, and I don't know if I'm telling the story right, but there was a lady driving, and she had a cast on, and her cast was like a permanent thumbs up, and and Rossi like rolls down the window, and he's like, and like, dude, like we just laughed forever, and she laughed at us and turned around and like gave us the finger with
Yeah.
another finger, but it was like the most random thing, and nope, Rossi didn't say one word. He just rolled down the window. It was like, and what makes it even more funny is like, dude, there's like millions of dollars in this car, and we're in like this shitty van Ubering, like it's when first like Uber Blacks weren't even around yet. And like the lady probably had no idea who he was, and he's like giving her the thumbs up.
This
It
is
was just
great.
so funny. It was like, big kids.
Yeah. What was that clubhouse like?
I mean, like, I always explain it to people as like the clubhouse or the team was like a family. It wasn't just. I think what made us so special is we just didn't hang out like during the game time. Like, I feel like now, and I could be wrong, but a lot of people are like in and out, right? And I feel like back then, guys would stay for a beer. They hung out after or like off the field, and everybody was invited. Like, if you were number 1 on the roster, or if you were number 25 on the roster, you were there at that function, because I feel like the guys up top who have won before, like the Rossies, like the Lesters, like the Lackeys, know that it takes a whole team to win. There's just not 4 or 5 guys on the team that can help win a World Series. It takes 1 through 25 guys. So, dude, we did everything as a big family. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, having guys up top like that, I mean, just Lester having that kind of Papa Bear type of
Yeah.
look to it, where it's like, obviously, you see these guys win wherever they've
Yeah.
had their success in
Yeah.
Boston, and then take that over to a place where, just like you said, has not had that.
Yeah. And
Um,
it was like, we would lose a game, and it would be, so what? Like, so what? We'll get them tomorrow. And there was, dude, I don't know if you've been a part of teams where you literally think that you're going to win every game.
mm,
It's like you're going out the field and you're going to win. It doesn't matter who's on the mound for the other team. Doesn't matter who's on the mound for your team. You just have a feeling that you're going to win. And I always like talk about this too. Like, that's how I felt when we won the national championship for football. Like, every day we were going out in the field, we were going to beat some ass. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that we are going to win. And it's almost like, holy shit, did we really lose that game?
yeah,
Instead
shocked.
of, yeah, shocked. So, and I think Rossi played a huge role in that too. Like, we just lose a game, he's walking in the clubhouse, he's like, fuck, who cares? So what? We'll get him tomorrow. And it just, like, when you hear it from the top, like those top guys, then it just kind of puts ease on the younger guys to like take the pressure off them, because it's like, so what, dude? You fucked up. You're 0 for 3 with a couple punchies. We'll get them tomorrow.
Yeah, and I mean, and bridging that into the today's team. So obviously, 2026 Cubs, they brought in Alex Bregman, and not comparing exactly David Ross's situation to Alex Bregman, but when we talk about that pedigree and that winning identity, that's a lot of what you're talking about right now. Because if we look at what David Ross was as a player,
Yeah.
it's not the same as what you talk about as a teammate, a leader, a spokesperson of the clubhouse. What do you feel like an addition like that can do for a team?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's not only just like a leader and a person that wins, he's like a stud too. So So he's like, everything in one. He's won before. He's won in Houston. I mean, how many World Series? He's got 2 in Houston.
I believe so. I should know that. I think two.
Yeah, 2 in Houston, and everywhere he goes, he wins. So he's like, he's he's like, he's a baseball player, right? Like, steals bases. He's fucking diving all over the place. He fucking hits for average, hits for power. Like, he's a baseball dog. So
Yeah.
it'll be. I can't wait to watch him this year. We go back out in, I think, July, and I can't wait to get back to Wrigley.
I mean, let me know. Let me know when you're out there. I'll try to make a run out there, man. But
hell yeah.
Anything else that before we pop off today that you want to talk about, you want to address?
No, is there any way like you can ask me about like the companies that I'm a part of and like,
Yeah, sure.
like essentially like what I'm doing now. Like we briefly talked about art, but I wanted to try and see if I could plug some of these in there.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. So what company you want me to hit you with?
If you just ask me like,
yeah, I'll just say what's new with your business adventures.
Well, yeah, you could be like, I know you're busy with kids and business, like, tell us a little bit about like what you're doing.
Yeah. No, I'll hit you.
Yeah, that's cool, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Hey, no, you've been busy with kids. You got a lot full of fun stuff, man. Not a lot of bad stuff going on there. Talk to me a little bit about business adventures that you've been on recently.
Yeah, dude. So I other than art, like I feel like I have a couple. Been regimen. We have bar soap, toothpaste, deodorant, and face lotion. We've been at this for like 22 months. All clean ingredients. We call it the 4x1. I don't know if you're familiar with Yucca at all. So Yucca is like an app where essentially you go around, you can scan barcodes, and it tells you how healthy the app is, or how healthy the product is. And we're 100 on all 4 products. Try and be super clean with like some fun absurdity to it. Our they're not too absurd, but they're pretty cool looking, right? They're pretty sharp. So yeah, so we've been at this for 22. We probably launched, I think maybe like 8 weeks ago. So officially, like a little bit before Christmas, and then like just in some investing too. Like I know we talked about the pouches, 5 different flavors, variety pack. One of the things I love about these is like, especially as a baseball player, it's an alternative to dip, and I feel like like what we talked about before, it's such a part of the culture that like, dude, I mean, I saw guys that were dipping in high school. I'm not sure. So it's like, this is like, nootropic caffeine pouches. It's a super healthy alternative to dipping, and it's just like essentially, you're able to have a little pouch in your mouth that you're able to get some benefits from it, right? You get a little caffeine. There's 75 milligrams, which is like equivalent to a cup of coffee, and then you get nootropics, which is like helps you focus and kind of dial in and not like have all the jitters you get from an energy drink or coffee or whatever. So yeah, dude. So just been like balls deep in companies and art, and it's been fun, dude. Like I said, I'm busy, but I'm still able to make time for being a dad and being a husband, and that's like the number one job, right? Like, so always make time for that.
Hey, man. Dude, thanks a ton just for hopping on, yapping some ball, talking some good memories for me. This did more for me than it did for probably most of the listeners here today. But thanks again, man. And thank you, BSBLR Show fam out there. Thanks for listening. Make sure you go follow us on Spotify. Subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. And give Matt some follows here too, guys. Go over, check out what he's got going. Obviously, a lot of business adventures. Also, check out his sweet pieces of art. Watch him splatter some baseball. Some bats off that canvas. Make sure you're tuning in. We'll be back again on Saturday, yapping some more ball. Thanks again for listening, guys. Peace.